I have to raise the camera so her banner's in the shot. All right, we had a while back that we had some upgrades coming for the SportGlide, and one of that includes painting it. So we're gonna strip all the stuff off of it to get it ready for paint. I don't know that I've ever done this for this reason, so especially I haven't done it on a modern SportGlide or a modern Softail even, so let's get into it and see what it takes to get this thing stripped down and ready for paint. Maybe if you're ever thinking about painting one or want to know how to take fenders off or tanks off or something like that, this will help you. All right, let's get started.
So I'm going to pull the seat and the front fairing first to start with. Next, I'm going to take the saddlebags off and get them off so we can start taking the rest apart. Try this one first. It takes a 1/4 inch variety, so I want to go the opposite way. All right, so it took 4 bolts, 2 on each side, to undo the front fender. So we've gotten it off and we're going to go place it on our mat. One thing to remember when you are taking the front fender off, rotate it forward as you're taking it off so you don't risk scratching anything and it comes off easy. One thing you want to make sure is all the bolts are the same size, so that way if there's 1 or 2 of them off, then you can mark those so you know exactly where they go when you put it back together. So we are labeling all the hardware for each component as we go. So we're making a card, we are getting an individual bag for it, putting the product in there with the card, so that way it makes it easy to know what goes with what when we go to put it back together. In this case, it's probably going to be at least over a month before we put it back together, so this makes it pretty handy for us. Okay, so next I'm going to take the tank bib off and the tank console off. The tank bib takes a 5/32, and the tank console takes a 3/16. So be careful when you're taking this off. There's 2 nuts right here underneath that will fall down into your battery area. So that's something we're gonna have to fish for now. Now we gotta,
Yep.
So now when you lift this up, we had to pry a little bit just by hand, and we're gonna lift it up. We gotta flip it. So when we flip it up, there's this connector here that we've got to unconnect. We're going to take the tank loose. So we're going to loosen the top and then take the bolt out of the back of the tank so we can pivot it up to make it easier to get it disconnected.
Okay, all right. There, so push up on it. Fuel line comes out. You'll get just a little bit of gas, not much at all. There's about a half a gallon in this tank, so you probably want a rag underneath it, but you should not have much gas come out of it from there. Now we need to disconnect this electronic line that goes to the pump and this vent, and then I think we're ready to take the tank all the way off.
Besides taking the front off.
Yep. There's the vent hose. So this plug right here, I just disconnected right there. It's kind of hard to record and do this at the same time, but it plugs in there and then slips up inside this channel. This goes to the tank, so you have to unplug that to get the tank off.
Next, we're going to take these side panels off. They'll take a 5/32 hex. Yeah.
Or is it just like a clip?
There we go. That goes over that.
It just pops on there. Careful.
I know. This one must have chew.
All right, we're getting ready to pull the rear fender off of this. So we're gonna get these struts and stuff off of here, so we're gonna get started on that next. We have a rear crash guard protector for the bag, so that's got to come loose also at the top because it attaches to one of the supports for the upper strut on the rear fender. So let's get all that off there and see what it takes to get this fender disconnected and get the lights off of it. We're doing this for paint, so we're not just taking it apart, but we have to get all that trim and extra rubber and whatever else off that has to come off so the bike can be painted. So we're going to disconnect the wiring here and here so we can get the fender loose without having this pull tight and giving us problems. Okay. Okay, we've got the fender off. We still got to get the struts off of it, but we can do that up on the workbench. So we have another bolt underneath the fender here that we have to take loose. This comes loose from the back side. This is basically the nuts for those two strut bolts. And then we still gotta get this wiring out of here. Okay, the rear assembly is out. Kind of spread the fender just a little bit back here and just kind of rotate it out the back end.
Boy, that's dirty.
Now, I realized we were not real careful with the paint on this. This is getting painted. So we weren't worried about getting a couple of scratches from setting it directly on the cardboard. But if you weren't repainting this and you were just taking this apart to fix something or change something, you definitely want to use something like moving pads, blankets and stuff. Some, big claws, like cleaning cloths and stuff to protect the paint, set it on a painted surface, be probably a little more careful with it than we were.
For now, we're only gonna paint the outside of the bag, so we're gonna take the bag apart, which is, we gotta take these bolts out on each side for the Velcro stuff, and then there's some bolts down here for the hinges that we've gotta take off. We just took the fairing apart. We didn't video it, but if you need to see how to do it, we do have a video already up and running on that. So next we gotta take the hardware mount off the trunk so we can have it ready to be painted. Unbolting, taking off the backrest off the trunk.
All right, so how long is it taking you to get the bike tore apart?
About 2 hours and 45 minutes.
And that's with stopping to film and organize and all that good stuff. So you could probably do it in 2 hours, especially if you'd done it before, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it as bad as you thought it'd be?
No.
No? So, all right. Well, this thing's getting ready to go to the painter. We'll be back for the next one. All right, so the bike's all apart. It's probably gonna be apart for a couple months. Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I got the Dyna.
You got the Dyna. Plus, it's going to be cold, so we're probably not. She's probably going to ride with me if she rides anyway for the next couple months. But it's apart. It's got to go to the painters. I don't know exactly how long it'll be back, or how long. I don't know exactly how long it'll be before it's back from the painters and we can start putting it back together. And I don't know what else we might get done on it in the meantime. We do have another project with the bike we could start on with it apart. We got some apes. Some apes. Got some apes. All right, we're gonna be putting some apes on this thing in the next couple months too, so be watching for that video and more SportGlide upgrades. You never know when we can get somebody to help us out and do some more upgrades to the bike and we'll be able to do something else to it. See y'all later, take care, stay safe, and keep on riding.